Are you a fan of treasure hunting in second-hand bazaars? If so, it is important to keep in mind that this habit can have unexpected effects on your path to success and prosperity. If you often buy second-hand items, it might be useful to stop for a moment and think about them. This behavior may be influencing your life in ways you can't imagine. There are important aspects that could affect your relationships and prosperity. Therefore, I invite you to watch this video carefully until the end, as it is possible that the use of these items is having an impact on your life, consciously or unconsciously, attracting unwanted energies. Imagine that every object you have is a part of you and reflects your energy. Used items, although useful, can carry with them the vibrations and experiences of their previous owners. It's like you're walking a path full of rocks, each representing an unwanted influence on your energy field. These objects could negatively affect your well-being and relationships. Look around you and think about whether the objects you have acquired are in tune with the energy you want to attract. Just like an antenna that catches signals, your belongings can influence the quality of the vibrations you receive. If they are not aligned with an energy of prosperity and harmony, they could become obstacles on your path to success. To keep your energy in balance, it is important to be aware of the influences that surround your personal space. Imagine your possessions as part of a garden. It is essential to make sure that each object is in harmony with the atmosphere you want to create. This way, you will create an environment that attracts positivity and prosperity, avoiding negative vibrations. You will be performing an exercise by examining your objects, which will not only help you free yourself from negative energies, but will also open new doors to opportunities and more enriching relationships. Remember that every small change you make in your environment can have a significant impact on your overall well-being and your path to success. Watch this video until the end to learn how to identify and free yourself from negative influences that may be affecting your life. By being aware of the energies you allow in your environment, you can open the way to abundance and prosperity. Your success and well-being are in your hands. Take control and experience how they flow positively in your life. Have you ever thought about how the energy around us can affect us? Dolores warns us about the importance of caring for our spiritual energy and avoiding elements that can transmit negative vibrations. Imagine I'm asking you to wear my old umbrellas during a storm. Would you feel comfortable with that? What if I buy you my phone to make an important call? I'm sure it sounds personal to you, doesn't it? Just as we would never share objects for hygiene or privacy reasons, there are elements in the spiritual realm that contain powerful energies that we should not accept from anyone. Would you like to know what they are? Dolores identified 10 elements that you should never allow to enter your life. One important reason to be cautious about this is that all these things can attract negative energies and negatively affect positivity in your life. We've all experienced moments when we wondered why our wishes weren't fulfilled and why everything seemed to happen except what we wanted. You've probably felt that way. This view, though deeply rooted in the esoteric and spiritual, also has a practical application. Every object we introduce into our environment carries a story and an energy charge that can influence our own vibration. It's like letting a stranger enter our house. We never know what kind of energy it will bring with us. Have you ever received a used wallet or purse from someone? The money it contains goes beyond being just coins and notes because it represents an energy that is transferred to these objects. By receiving a used wallet or purse, you are also likely to receive some of the previous owner's energy, including his thoughts, emotions, and money-related experiences. What kind of energy can be contained in an empty wallet or one full of old receipts and unused credit cards? It's like taking on another person's financial and energy debt, attracting negativity and blocking abundance in our own lives. A reflection on money. Marcos and Paula, two friends, had different approaches to finance. Marcos, when paying his bills, used to have pessimistic thoughts about the lack of money, which generated a negative atmosphere and kept his wallet empty. Instead, Paula, when paying her accounts, always expressed, "Thanks to God, I have enough money to pay my commitments." Surprisingly, his wallet was never empty, and he always had the resources to cover his expenses without difficulty. It all comes down to the energy and attitude with which we face our financial issues. Now comes the interesting part. When you use a wallet that belongs to someone else, you should make sure to replace the balance. This way, you end up taking responsibility for the energy that comes with it. Even if it's a close friend, you can't help absorbing the vibrations of that used wallet. This phenomenon demonstrates how our attitudes and approaches influence our environment. If you always have negative thoughts about money, you are likely to be drawn to situations of scarcity. On the contrary, if you maintain a positive mindset, you are more likely to attract opportunities of abundance. It is advisable to be careful and avoid accepting used wallets or bags, as you never know what energies might be associated with them. Secondly, we encounter objects related to worship. Over time, the notion has persisted that certain objects may be linked to unknown forces or spiritual entities. According to Dolores canon, accepting these objects can be problematic, especially if you consider yourself someone with a special purpose in this world. The main concern is that these objects can have a negative impact on a person's life, either through a spiritual or psychological connection. For example, according to some beliefs, objects used in idol worship rituals or in hidden practices are believed to carry spiritual energy or a load that may be harmful to those seeking to maintain spiritual or energetic purity. It is important to keep in mind that objects used in rituals can carry the energy of the intentions and actions of those who used them previously. If these practices had negative or disturbing connotations, the negative energy could be transmitted to the object's new owner. This implies that you could absorb the essence of those past intentions and actions, which could interfere with your own path to tranquility and clarity. It is important to keep in mind that these beliefs and practices vary considerably between different cultures and belief systems. In one tradition, what is considered a negative power object can simply be seen as a cultural or historical artifact without spiritual implications. The decision to accept or reject an object of this type is very personal and must be made with full awareness of your own beliefs and feelings. It is recommended to avoid these objects if you are not completely sure about their energy or if you feel any doubt about it. As they say, having clarity and purity in your personal energy is fundamental to your spiritual growth and manifestation. Thirdly, let us talk about salt. Have you ever wondered why it is not advisable to accept salt directly from strangers? It is not just about being selective or having good eating manners. This recommendation has a reason to be deeper. Imagine this situation. Somebody immerses their fingers in a container of salt and then offers you a little. Isn't that a little disturbing to you? Beyond social norms, there is a significant energy element at play that we must take into account. Salt has the ability to absorb energy, both positive and negative, when it comes into contact with someone. This effect turns it into an energy magnet. Therefore, it is recommended to be careful when accepting salt from others and prefer to take it yourself to avoid absorbing unwanted energies. He thinks of salt as an element that can absorb energy from the environment around him. Just as a mirror reflects what is in front of it, salt can absorb vibrations from its surroundings. If someone with a negative or disturbing energy has manipulated that salt, by consuming it, you are allowing those same energies to enter your personal space. Therefore, it is important to consider who has touched or manipulated the salt you use. Dolores Cannon taught us that in the universe, everything is connected in some way through subtle energies. It has been observed that salt can act as an energy conductor, allowing it to contain the intentions and emotions of those who manipulate it. By using salt that has been in contact with other people, there is the possibility of absorbing these energies into our lives, which could influence our well-being and balance. When they offer you salt the next time, keep in mind that it's not just a spice. Salt is a powerful energy absorber, and the energy it has accumulated can have an impact on your emotional and spiritual well-being. By taking salt for yourself, you have control over the source and energy that you are incorporating into your life. A used mattress is the fourth item that you should be careful when accepting from someone else. He spends a considerable amount of time in bed, approximately 8 to 10 hours a day. Mattresses not only provide support during sleep, they also absorb energy from the environment. This includes both pleasant dreams and unwanted vibrations. Before you introduce an old mattress into your home, it is important to consider whether the energy it could contain is compatible with the relaxing atmosphere you want for your nightly rest. Have you ever felt uncomfortable staying in a hotel, experiencing strange dreams, or waking up at unusual times? This may be because a worn mattress can affect your sleep quality, causing discomfort and poor rest. It is important to keep in mind that factors such as the quality of the bed can affect your rest and have repercussions on your overall well-being. Similarly, if you have ever slept in a friend or family member's bed and felt uncomfortable, you are likely to have perceived a negative energy present in that place. This sensation may manifest itself in sudden irritation or discomfort. Therefore, it is important to keep in mind that it is not recommended to accept a used mattress from another person or give your own. Sharing a mattress also entails exchanging vibrations. Everything emits energy, and using used items, especially mattresses, can transfer those vibrations into your life, according to Dolores canon. It is important to value your energy and make sure you get enough rest to maintain balance. The quality of your sleep does not necessarily depend on the price of the mattress, but rather on whether it is the right one for you. A personal mattress can contribute to your well-being by providing you with a quiet space without external interference. If you are using a mattress that other people gave you, consider changing it to improve your rest and get away from negative energies. Taking this decision can protect your well-being, give you a rest, and improve your quality of life. Let's go on with the inherited items. Your relatives are likely to have antique objects that are passed on from generation to generation. It's important to keep in mind that behind these seemingly innocent objects, there may be energies that can influence your well-being. The belief that some inherited objects can have negative energies is shared in several cultures and traditions around the world. Often, these objects are seen with a sense of reverence and caution, especially if they are related to activities considered taboo or prohibited by the community. There is concern that these objects may contain negative energies or influences. The idea is that these objects, being passed on from generation to generation, could have a negative impact on the lives of descendants, carrying with them the consequences of acts deemed inappropriate or incorrect. Therefore, if you believe that you have a special destiny or a unique purpose, the most prudent thing is to stay away from those influences and avoid accepting these items as gifts or inheritances. If you find yourself inheriting an important object from your family, it is recommended that you carefully evaluate it before accepting it. These inherited objects can have an unexpected and sometimes negative impact on your life. It is essential to consider carefully whether you want to allow that influence to enter your personal space. Receiving an inheritance can be beneficial, but it also entails responsibilities that may not be obvious at first sight. It is important to analyze and make decisions in an informed and reflective way to protect your emotional well-being and maintain a balance in your life in search of prosperity and tranquility. Let us now focus on the sixth object, mirrors. The mirrors, right? At first sight they seem simple, but in reality they contain a complexity that goes beyond that. In ancient cultures, mirrors were considered a kind of window to the soul, reflecting our true inner essence. However, you may not know that mirrors can sometimes hold quite intriguing energy. A newly purchased mirror may not cause any concern. But what if that mirror has been in someone else's house for a considerable time? Let's say about 10 months. Mirrors can have different meanings and symbolism, and it is important to consider their history and energy before adding them to your home. It is essential to be aware of the origin of the objects we possess, including mirrors, and to consider whether it is necessary to get rid of those that no longer fulfill their function. Sometimes, life surprises us with unexpected turns, both on a personal level and in our relationships, even when it seems that everything is going well. This whole situation can be explained by the energies emanating from these objects that, in one way or another, we incorporate into our environment. Therefore, I recommend that you try to avoid using these objects, even unwittingly. Bear in mind that the energy they transmit can have a remarkable influence on your life. Therefore, it is important that you choose carefully and keep your environment free from unwanted influences. Let us now talk about locks, an element from which it is best to stay away. I know it may sound a little weird, but seriously, these locks can be used in ways that would surprise you. It may sound like something from a movie, but it's reality. It gives the feeling that someone is controlling your destiny when you get a lock with your name, and it's something to take seriously. Frankly, the most prudent thing is not to accept a lock from someone unless it is in its original sealed packaging. The spiritual world is a part of life that we must bear in mind, just like any other influence on our day-to-day lives. Although it is not always easy to detect, it is important to consider how people and things around us can affect our well-being. If something makes you doubt it, take some time to observe it and see if it really has an impact on your life. The eighth element you should avoid. Our emotions and our intuition play a key role in our lives, especially when it comes to receiving gifts that can affect our emotional well-being. Even if an object seems harmless at first sight, if we feel uncomfortable when we receive it, it could be a sign that the object is not suitable for us. It is important to pay attention to these intuitive sensations. If you feel anxious or worried about receiving a gift, there are several possible reasons for this. You may not connect with the energy of the object, or you may suspect that there is a less positive intention behind the gesture. In these cases, it is wise to trust your intuition and reject the gift politely. Remember that rejecting a gift does not necessarily mean being rude. It is perfectly valid to express with respect that, although the gesture is appreciated, at that moment in life, the object in question is not what is needed. Being sincere and communicating openly can prevent misunderstandings and help maintain harmony in relationships. Rewards are the ninth element we should not accept. This concept makes us reflect on the risks of accepting unfair profits, as they can not only have legal and social consequences, but also affect our moral and ethical integrity. Receiving money, gifts, or other favors from corrupt acts, such as fraud or misappropriation, makes us complicit. This behavior undermines confidence in institutions and in interpersonal relations, raising doubts about our own integrity and values. From an ethical point of view, the rewards of iniquity can be seen as something harmful that comes disguised as a reward. In the short term, they may seem beneficial or tempting, but in the long term, they often have far more serious consequences, affecting dignity and reputation. Deciding to reject the rewards of iniquity is not only an act of personal integrity, but also a way of committing to the principles that underpin a just and equitable society. For those in positions of leadership, influence, or responsibility, it is essential to reject any kind of dishonest gift. They are expected to be examples of integrity and lead by example. Accepting immoral rewards would not only damage their reputation, but could also discourage others from following an ethical path. Therefore, if you find yourself in a situation where you are offered a questionable reward, it is better to reject it immediately. In the long run, you will realize that it was the right decision, both for your personal integrity and for the well-being of the community. By rejecting it, you will not only preserve your honor, but also contribute to strengthening the values of justice and equity in society. remember that the real reward lies in keeping your principles and in the tranquility of knowing that you have acted righteously. Therefore, friends, it is important to stay in tune with the truth and to act with honesty at all times. By rejecting the temptations of incorrect behavior, we will see how life rewards us greatly, filling our path with true abundance and peace. Loaded personal items are the 10th thing you should not accept. Second-hand personal objects can carry negative energies from their previous owners. Jewelry, clothes, or other items loaded with difficult stories could contain that wasted energy. By using or having these objects in your possession, you might be attracting those negative vibrations into your life without realizing it. Think of it this way. Jewelry and clothing are in constant contact with the person who uses them. It absorbs its essence and the experiences it has. Objects can absorb the energies of their previous owner, particularly if they have experienced difficult or complicated times. You run the risk of carrying some of that emotional load with you if you wear a ring or garment that has experienced challenges and sadness. Therefore, it is recommended to be careful when receiving gifts that belong to another person. In the universe, everything is interconnected, and those vibrations can influence your emotional and spiritual well-being in ways that you may not be able to anticipate. As Dolores Cannon's concept of energy teaches us, energy is a meaningful force present at all times. It is important that we take care of our personal energy and protect ourselves from influences that may affect our balance. If you receive gifts such as jewelry, clothes, or other used personal items, it is recommended that you reflect on the energy they can carry with you. It is preferable to be surrounded by new things or a clearly defined positive story. It is important to take care of your personal energy to promote spiritual development and well-being. If you feel that an object does not fit your vibration, it is worth keeping it away. By practicing this, you will notice positive changes in the clarity and peace you experience in your day-to-day life. These 10 things can attract negativity to your life, so it's best to avoid them. Often, by using someone else's belongings unthinkingly, we may be opening the door to unwanted energies. It is important not to lend our things or use others' belongings. If you try for a few days, you will notice the difference for yourself and understand how these actions relate to positivity and negativity. It is essential that we all be aware of this, so I encourage you to try and advise others to do the same. Being aware of this reality allows us to be more selective and conscious in our daily decisions. It is important to reject objects with negative energy, avoid dishonest rewards, and be cautious with gifts that cause us discomfort to keep our personal vibration pure. I hope this reflection has been useful to you and motivates you to become more aware of the energies you allow in your life. I hope you liked the video. If you enjoyed it, consider giving him a like and subscribing to the channel. If you need more information about items to avoid, leave me a comment. Thank you for watching the video and stay attentive to future updates. Finally, do you use any of these elements? If you plan to stop using it, tell me in the comments. Thank you.